Hi, I'm Hillary, and these are my colleagues Bernie, Carly, and Donald. And today we will be talking to you about incorporating lean manufacturing at JCC. We've been hired by the management of Jenny's Cycle Components regarding declining profitability, new production demands, and the consequences of a renewed contract with the original equipment manufacturer. We recommended several adjustments to JCC's application of lean manufacturing to limit losses in the short term, and in the long term, establish a flexible manufacturing process capable of continuous improvement. JCC's current supply chain structure includes third-tier and second-tier vendors, which allows the standardization of size, frequency, and payment in production. Additionally, JCC's just-in-time and just-in-sequence manufacturing strategies limit costly inventory carry. A cost-efficient supply chain allows manufacturers to reduce overhead and direct sales costs at the same time. However, recent on-time delivery failures and variations in quality have triggered punishing price concessions from the OEM, including the most recent demand for a $200 price concession for the fiscal year 2015. JCC's pull inventory system leaves virtually no room for error, so intimate knowledge of the three-tiered supply chain is necessary for optimal production efficiency. Second-tier manufacturers who struggle to conform to the pull system have negotiated allowances with JCC in the form of increased inventories and installation of redundant equipment to avoid line stoppage fees, which negatively impacts JCC's manufacturing cost and inventory carry. These expenses are the result of improper application of the principles of lean manufacturing.
I'm now going to explain the recent changing financial position of Jenny's Cycle Components. Management at JCC. You've experienced numerous problems with delivery and quality over the past several years, and these problems have contributed to your overall declining profitability. This declining profitability has created many unhappy shareholders that prompts you to make changes to your lean manufacturing processes. Recent complaints from the OEM about vibrating chassis with poor handling prompted management at JCC to purchase a new piece of equipment for $15 million to compensate for the tire vendor's lack of foresight. Although the new equipment impacts your company's production cycle with added labor time and represents a cost of quality to the OEM, the entity is unwilling to reflect the new cost in an increased contract price for the year 2015. This results in higher equipment and labor costs for a problem caused by a third-tier supplier and outcry from your shareholders who see only the negative impact of the company's changing financial position. The cost of the new machinery, as well as the labor involved in fixing the problem with the tires, has largely attributed to the declining profitability exhibited by your company. The balance sheet reveals that JCC's total assets has increased by $1,890,000, more than their total liabilities, as shown here in Exhibit 1. This change in the current ratio is directly due to the purchase of the wheel balance machine. Despite a decrease in sales, JCC's cost of goods sold have increased from $76,720,000 in 2012 to $81,025,000 in 2014, resulting in a gross margin reduction of $5,305,000 displayed in Exhibit 2A here. The increase in cost of goods sold is likely the result of increased direct labor per unit required to balance the wheels. New expenses and lower selling prices have contributed to a reduction of $2,871,435 to net income as shown in Exhibit 2B. Additionally, the statement of cash flows reveals the impact of the purchase of the added $16.5 million of depreciation expense added to net income. Your company's supply chain efficiency is dependent on product component quality and on-time delivery. So if JCC causes the OEM to stop its production line because of late delivery or quality issues, the contract allows the OEM to bill JCC $2,000 per minute for lost production time. Increased management turnover has proven that this problem has been apparent. This, combined with pressing contract obligations and a misunderstanding of lean principles, may also have a lasting negative impact on the company's financial position. By passing on cost of delivery and quality problems onto second-tier suppliers, you are actually jeopardizing long-term beneficial relationships with these suppliers and complicating process flows even more with the purchase of redundant equipment and contradictory inventory philosophy.
Now I'll be discussing our financial analysis established through a pro forma model on JCC Company. The OEM's demand for a 12.5% increase in production volume for the coming year demands immediate attention from management at JCC. In order to produce above capacity of 30,000 units, JCC must pay all 4 of its line workers approximately 13.5 hours of overtime a week on average. Hiring an additional line worker will help to reduce the immediate cost to meet the new production target, but between 5 workers there will still be an average of approximately 2.75 hours of overtime per worker every week. Operating at excess capacity without additional resources causes greater risk of delay in production and layover in orders, which could lead to problems with inventory turnover and further concessions to the OEM. Although the increased costs are not ideal, there is no short-term solution which ameliorates the situation without amending the 2015 contract. JCC will benefit from several adjustments to its application of lean principles, beginning with the foundation of the philosophy, taking a walk. To counter the inherent inefficiencies of JCC's complex supply chain and recent non-conformance to expectations of quality and on-time delivery, JCC must enhance its ground-level understanding of production by initiating walks between each of its vendors and management. Establishing clear, direct channels of communication and performing walks will inform JCC management of suppliers' manufacturing process, flows, and value streams. JCC makes 1 delivery every hour during its 8-hour production period. The JIT and JIS strategies mean that on-time delivery and product component quality are crucial to reaching production targets. We recommend application of the lean system of single-minute exchange of dies, SMED. SMED is a system of production techniques proven to reduce cycle time, the time it takes for JCC to respond to the OEM's order. Management at JCC must examine its current process flow and instead of eliminating processes or rearranging processes, focus on externalizing setup times and other activities which may be performed simultaneously with the main process flow. For example, cleaning up after welding the frame and preparing it for powder coating takes 2 minutes and 30 seconds of JCC's 2015 19-minute process diagram. And balancing the wheel takes 3 minutes. The wheel balancing may be externalized from the process and performed while the frame is being welded and prepped. The resulting reduction in minutes per product, takt time, almost brings JCC back to 2014 levels, reducing the overall financial impact of overtime. The SMED system should be applied in conjunction with Kanban. Kanban is the principle of billboarding or visualizing processes on the plant floor. Something as simple as a whiteboard and sticky notes tracking target production volumes, units completed, and units in process will provide a visual aid for JCC's employees to keep the beat of continuous, efficient production.
We recommend that JCC focus on using the previously mentioned lean strategies to establish a more flexible manufacturing process and feasible contract goals with the OEM, starting with preparation of a cost of quality report. The wheel balancing machine represents a cost of conforming to customer expectations. In this case, this means meeting standards set by the OEM. Non-conformance to the OEM standards also has a cost. For example, failure to meet delivery standards incurs a cost of $2,000 per minute right now. The sum of the cost of conformance and non-conformance together equal the cost of quality, also defined as the cost of all activities associated with the prevention, identification, repair, and rectification of poor quality. We recommend JCC prepare a cost report to reflect the cost of conformance and non-conformance associated with activities across the value chain, costs which are often buried in financial statements. The cost of quality report will help JCC negotiate future state goals within the organization and contractual goals with the OEM. Namely, the report will provide the basis from which JCC may demand increased contract price to cover an increased cost in quality. We also recommend the pursuit of open and direct relationships with second and third tier suppliers. Ideally, the tire manufacturer will communicate directly with the wheel manufacturer to ensure proper wheel-tire balance. If these two suppliers are able to work together to ensure that there is a correct balance, then the cost of conformance will not immediately fall to JCC. Developing consistent schedules adhering to the lean principle of takt Zeit, meaning keeping the beat, will help maintain on-time deliveries and reduce the abnormal costs of finding new suppliers during the period and subsequent contract penalties. For future issues of quality originating outside of JCC's internal processes, we recommend application of poka-yoke strategies. The objective of lean poka-yoke strategies is to ensure proper conditions for production before executing a process step. By eliminating defects as early as possible, JCC avoids costly line stoppage fees and unexpected aberrations in process flow. Instead of approaching the wheel balancing problem with a poka-yoke strategy, JCC allowed the problem to float downstream to its own processes and purchase corrective equipment. By laying the groundwork for direct communications and identifying failures in product quality before they reach JCC, future abnormal cash expenditures may be avoided. As with all companies using lean manufacturing and accounting, the goal is to have no goal. That is, JCC must not be afraid to pursue perfection, whether that means laying down new contract limitations or engaging a new OEM altogether. As Albert Einstein said, out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. The natural state of a lean enterprise is Kaizen, continuous improvement. To establish an organizational culture which revolves around constant improvement and learning, JCC must establish an understanding of internal process flows, supply chain logistics, and the changing financial position. This knowledge, combined with coherent application of lean principles, will allow JCC to overcome its recent policy failures.